Imagine the 3 Mile Island nuclear plant on that cold March morning in 1979. A seemingly tiny valve malfunction sets off a chain reaction of confusing alarms and missteps. Operators scramble, but before long half the plant is lost, and a meltdown edges closer than anyone expected. What started as a minor glitch explodes into a near catastrophe. Why do these systems, engineered for safety, unravel so catastrophically? That's the puzzle Charles Perrow dives into with normal accidents. Let's start with complexity, where a simple hiccup hides dozens of invisible links ready to snap. At 3 Mile Island, a stuck valve caused coolant to leak. Operators read conflicting instruments, some gauges were misleading. What seemed a routine fault multiplied as hidden feedback loops triggered valves closing where they shouldn't, cascading confusion. No single failure caused the incident. Instead, a whole nest of tiny malfunctions tangled and spiraled out of control. Imagine a spider's web where a single thread vibrates when touched, disturbing strands across the web unpredictably. Complex systems have countless interconnected parts like these threads. Pull one, and a faraway section might snap, tugging yet another in ways you never imagined. Their complicated wiring makes predicting outcomes nearly impossible. These intricate networks hide traps designers miss. It's not just tech failing, but the chaos of interactions. A seemingly isolated glitch can ripple silently until it explodes into disaster. That's why normal accidents aren't rare, they're baked in. Complexity creates invisible fault lines that only reveal themselves in failure. Next up, tight coupling. When one part fails, everything else feels it instantly. No pause, no cushion. At a chemical plant fire in Perrow, England, a small gasket leak quickly exploded into a massive blast. Systems were so tightly linked that one failed valve led to pressure surges, igniting vapors within seconds. Workers couldn't intervene fast enough. The plant's layout allowed no wiggle room for mistakes. Everything triggered lightning fast. Think of a line of dominoes set up elbows length apart. Loose spacing lets you pause or stop if you spot a problem. Tight coupling is like dominoes packed nose to tail. One falls and sends an unstoppable shock wave. Any failure zooms through the system before anyone can react, leaving no delay or slack for correction. This speed means organizations often lag behind events. Even the best teams can't pause or isolate failures in time. It's like trying to catch a bullet after it's fired. Systems grow fragile when processes must occur in exact sequences without delays. Tight coupling magnifies errors instantly into crises. Finally, catastrophic potential. Big disasters almost always sneak up on us as tiny, unremarkable stumbles. Remember the Challenger disaster? A tiny O-ring frozen in cold Florida air caused gas leaks in the booster rocket. It seemed minor, a small part no one thought would fail. Yet that microscopic failure sealed the fate of the shuttle, turning isolated damage into fiery doom within minutes. Think of a crack in a dam. At first, it's invisible, harmless, until water pressure widens it exponentially. That's how tiny faults in high-risk systems grow with time or stress, cascading quietly until the whole structure collapses. Catastrophes always start small before they spiral beyond control. Interestingly, operator error usually isn't the real culprit. People working inside these complex, tightly coupled systems often face impossible tasks, trying to tame chaos after it's already kicked off. Most failures stem from organizational blind spots or design faults. In other words, blaming people misses the bigger, messier truth. Back to 3 Mile Island, the tiny valve that kicked off a nuclear nightmare. Perrow's insight: in our most complex, tightly coupled world, accidents aren't just possible, they're normal. Next time you manage or build a system, don't just ask how to prevent failures, but how to live with them. Try spotting complexity and coupling in your work and think, where's the fault line waiting to snap? Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.